I don't see.
Okay, no,
Now
I
it's in
have to hit
progress.
it again after you give me permission. That's what it is.
Okay, there it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's in progress. Hi, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Almost 7 p.m. here, so
Hey, y'all.
Are you seeing a black thing in the middle of the screen?
Yes.
Sorry about that. It puts the chat and the participants in a strange place. So there we go. Now everybody can see the disclaimer. That was my goal, to start it off with the disclaimer. We'll get the hang of this eventually.
Morning. You can lose money.
yes.
Yes, basically that's it.
Basically, that's it. Yes.
You can lose money and it's not my fault. Or Rex's.
This is a person who clicked the button's fault.
Yes. Yes, I had my high stakes $200 attempt at a trade today, and it stopped out on me. So there we go. It's you got to do it. You know, I clicked the buttons, and as I said, I mentioned I put the thing up in the group me, and I said I'm attempting a $200 trade.
I warned you.
On the GVP, and I said, yeah, psychological level is yikes at the moment.
So,
and
can you share the group me so that Malcolm can know what we're talking about, and Ed?
Yes, I
did.
think I can.
But I warned you. I told her it was going against her, and she didn't believe me.
Let's see. Do I have group me open?
I do if you don't.
Oh, I got so much stuff. You know what it is? Is that Zoom is on the AVG browser, and I've got group me open on. I should have group me open here, but you know what? That tab's not open.
I can share it if you want.
Okay, that would be great because it's not coming up for me here, and I don't know. Maybe I can do it through here.
Folks are starting to show up here, so good.
Let's see who can find it first. Of course, you probably can't see anything now, right? Okay, I'll stop sharing. Oh, it wants me to log in. Isn't that odd? Anyway, let me share, and I'll show you what it looks like. There it is. There. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So
Um,
you log in with.
I don't know. I think I'm sharing.
Are you?
Yeah,
No,
I got the green line around my chart.
Oh, my share is loading. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Share.
So what we have is,
that's what you asked
There you
for.
go.
Group me.
Okay.
so the left column there is trade call outs. If you see something that you want to share for any requirement or whatever, it's very limited. You throw out your chart, target, stop, what you're trading. And then over on the right, Logan's Grove is chat talking about setups and things and trading. So if you're involved or you're signed up to it, you can get the little bit of alerts, and it's pretty quick.
I see Larry's got
it
one
is.
on here.
It's definitely quick. Trade challenge. There we go. I didn't see that one. Thanks, Larry. Which way are you going?
South.
Okay, that's a good idea because it just went south a little bit with the news. It looks like it's just kind of going sideways right now. But yeah, I waited. I'm waiting until it makes a decisive direction. I think it's just going to go sideways for a while now.
Sure. Wrong one. So I'll stop sharing.
Okay, and then I'll go through some things here.
And that's what the videos look like right here. Rex's class. I just put the date, and that video number is what it is in my Zoom. So I just leave it there. So
that's nice.
If something gets lost on YouTube, I can go back to Zoom and find it. Although I'm running out of room on my computer, so. Oh, hello. I'm recording myself now, so let's.
All righty. just a quick thing that I'd said I would do for Barb is the annual holiday trading workshop is Monday, December 11th through Wednesday, December 13th. Typically, it's in the mornings and the evenings. Holiday festive type of thing. A lot of fun. So if you have any interest in that, or if you get emails, that's what it's about. We do it every year. So, well, this will be the second holiday workshop anyway. And then I put up if I can find it, whiteboard. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, so I think, because I don't get the challenges anymore thing, but $10,000 account, you're looking for $200 profit, which is you're trying to look at 2% a week, right? 4 trades maximum, and you have to have a 50% or greater winning rate. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm looking to make $200, and let's say I want to do it on one move, if I go in at $5 a pip, which is a 0.5, right? Generally speaking, I'm only looking for 40 pip moves. If I'm looking at trying to get $6 a pip, a 0.6, then I'm looking for a 34 pip move. So I will only go look, or if anybody here sees a pivot with at least 34 to 40 pips in movement potential momentum, will be the only trade I'm looking for. So I'm trying to get it, attack this thing here as much as I can. Now I can break the positions up, and I could put in 2.5s, be a full contract, and try to get out with 20 pip move. Got to watch the risk, but I'm going to try to do 2 to 1. So if I get the pivot in the turn, I'm really wanting it to move and be done with pretty quickly. Well, within several hours on a longer term chart. So.
Well, quick is certainly not tonight's trading.
Is it sluggish?
Sluggish?
Yeah, slow.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to with the time change. Japan doesn't change their time at all. And Australia does, but it's like a month different from us. So I'm not sure where we are in the whole which market opens when time. And the news. FX Street gives the news at the same time it normally does for like Japan. It says 7:50 Eastern time, PM. But Forex Factory says it's at 6. Well, no, it was 7:30 on FX Street and it was 6:30 on Forex Factory. And I'm like, oh man, these time changes gets everybody messed up.
Yep.
So what's this? World time.
Yeah. So that's why I keep daily FX here. I leave it at 0.
Oh, can you go back? Oh, okay. I see what you're doing.
So I can line that up to the time in Alveo.
Yeah, I just set it to my own time.
Yeah. So now let's see. I need to go back. So we got Australia interest rate coming up here in an hour and 22 minutes. But that's what I do. So when I go look at Alveo, I just look at the numbers.
You figure one of these news agencies would have 2 columns. One is GMT time and the other would be our time.
Yeah.
That makes too much sense.
Yeah, that's why I have to use World Time Buddy to keep things straight.
Yeah, there we are. Tokyo is 11 11?
Yeah, it's 11 a.m. right now there.
11 a.m. Okay, good.
Yeah.
New York here, of course.
So Rex, I'd like to share a different way to hedge.
You want to share a different way to hedge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I may.
Yeah. Okay. And then if anybody is doing the challenge and you're talking about it, and you have some ideas, make sure you throw them out here.
You don't have to use this many pairs, but these 3 are USD quote pairs, AU, EU, and GU, and NU is hidden actually, but I'm trading it. Anyway, my hedge is the opposite, is USD JPY. a base pair. If you really want to get literal about it, you'd have two base pairs against two quote pairs. But at nighttime, especially in the agent session, things don't move the same. Anyway, instead of taking, say, trading the EU and having both buys to sells on, what I'll do, as you can see here, I have sells on all my quote pairs and buys on my base pair. To
Well, it's
help
basically going in the same direction. That's not really hedging.
No, they're not going. All the base pairs are going north and the quote pairs are going
Well,
south.
which one? Let's, instead of base and quote, say US dollar first or second.
Okay, the dollar pairs, I'm sorry, the USD first, USD CHF, JPY, and
Yeah.
USD CAD
Yep. If
Would
you're
be
buying
going-
those,
would be going north.
yep. And the
USD
Euro, USD, and those will be going south.
South.
That's the same direction, basically. That's not hedging.
It's not the same direction.
No, it's different directions, but it's the same basic thing, because if the USD is in, say, if it's like a fraction, say there's a numerator at the top and a denominator in the bottom, the USD is on the top and you're buying, that's buying the dollar. And if the USD is the bottom and you're selling the euro dollar, that's buying dollars too. Selling euros, buying dollars.
Well, I understand
But
your point.
hedging it means that you would do the opposite, meaning you would be going in the same direction on the Euro USD and the USD JPY, and that would actually be a hedge. Because if the US dollar isn't going the way that all of your trades are going, then the other one will hedge it.
Well, I certainly don't look at it that way.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you're buying the
I
US
understand,
dollar,
I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I do not look at it that way.
Oh, because the hedge is usually used to offset a loss on one side and to just make yourself break even across several pairs.
Well,
All of
I
those
bought
pairs are
several tonight that way.
What was that?
all of those
I-
pairs, when they're moving, the US is, they're moving the same direction, really. If the US is in the second place and you're selling it, it's the same as buying when it's in the first position.
Yeah, but if you're losing in one, so like a lot of people
Yeah.
buy the US JPY for the overnight swap rate. And if it's going in the wrong direction, you can hedge with another pair.
Right.
So you're buying the US JPY because you want the overnight swap rate, but it's going down. Then you can also
So
sell
from your point of view, Vicky, I stand corrected.
the Euro USD. And then that would be making it so that it would even out, so that you wouldn't come up with a loss overnight. You would still get your swap, but the hedge would cover your loss, if you know what I mean. That's the one thing I got out of Jeff's option classes, is that if you're losing in stocks, you can take an option in the opposite direction to hedge it off.
Right.
That way it's like fixing a trade.
So Rex, what do you hear from Jeff lately?
I haven't heard from him in quite a while.
Well, I think the basic news is he's busy getting all of the licensing done and down.
Well, that should be done by now.
I think
mean, it's been quite a while. It's been-
COVID made a big splash on him. He got really sick with COVID, so that put a damper on it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's been a year.
Okay, well, and not just that, I think he's busy with family and stuff. Last I heard, his daughter basically never changed the oil in her car and burned her engine out. And so family has been keeping him busy.
Oof. That's too bad.
So I'm going through all the pairs looking for a trade setup. If anybody, I've got room, for in this big league account or whatever it is.
Mhm.
for 4.5. I just need if you see a pivot swing with about a 40 pip target, let me know and I'll put it on. We'll discuss it tomorrow night.
Yeah, Rex, we're talking about in chat the Euro USD because on the hour it's got a 60 pip candle from its overextension. And I think a couple of us are playing the 50% fib on that, which is about 20, 25 pips. But if it breaks to the 50, there's nothing stopping it on the way down. So you don't have to get in but like a half lot and catch pippage or pips.
Okay.
That's probably not a real word.
I understood it.
It
Well,
works.
but the half lot allows for you to be wrong all the way back into that top range, which it just broke out of.
Okay, so let's see.
Well, just as in several hours ago.
So
several hours in this market is about 2 pips.
Yeah, well, yeah. So
Can you show us what you're talking about, Josh?
yeah. Having trouble getting Zoom to work today, though.
Yeah, it told when I was just looking for something in the background here, and then I went back to Zoom and it said it failed to update, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, everybody's still talking. Where is it? And so yeah, it's still there. Just the green button, share screen, and then whatever Alveo is or whatever platform you're using. Oh, and just a warning, Ed, too. Some of the prop firms have in their rules that they don't like you to hedge across pairs, like they call it arbitrage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't read that.
So they'll really, some of them will use that as an excuse to say, nope, I'm not doing
Tell them you're a registered politician.
Yeah.
that.
You know Pelosi.
They'd only have to talk to me once to figure that one out.
I actually do know her, and that didn't help any.
Oh, okay. So Josh put his stop up there. Are you going to share when you find the button?
Let me see. All right, I think that worked.
Yeah, it's flashed up there for a second.
There we
it
go.
is.
My computer's been giving me hell the last few days. So I mean, I kind of just placed a little cell. It's when I logged on. I would have rather gotten it higher up, but you've got this range up here, and you see my fib on the hour. While it was in this, it was real indecisive. And here, I was kind of thinking, okay, we're going to go up, but it just rejected that with some ferocity and completely rejected its indecisive range and is now playing down here and bleeding down.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking, all right, you're going to hit the 38. You're probably going to retest the 23. And then as long as you stay under here.
There's some wicks on that 50%, and then there's another pivot to the left of the 61 point.
There's these guys, yeah, which gives me a little bit of concern. Like if you look at it on the 5 minute, it gives me a little bit of a concern. But because it broke down here and it's bleeding, and typically you have the what is it called?
Asian
Tokyo drift.
Escalator, I call it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my TP way down here just for shits and grins because I'm probably going to be on for a couple hours to watch it. And if I get a yeet down, cool. If not, then I'll move it up. But I'm watching it, and if it breaks and holds down in these ranges, especially this guy right here, I was going to secure it because that would be from here to here. That's about 15 pips mathematically.
If you can get 17, you could go for.
Yeah, see, that's $75. I could do that 4 times. 75, 150. Yeah, I could do that 3 times.
Yeah, but you got to win all of them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's better to go for a little bit more and then have some wiggle room so you can lose one.
Yeah, I see your point there.
Or not quite make it the whole way.
What I was hoping to see tonight, because I'm going to trade my other strategy on my other account and just watch this guy, was a break of that and secure it there. So that's like my worst case. And then let it go down to the 50, which that kind of is. If it breaks there, that's the 50. So that's kind of my hope for that. And then I duplicated on the GBP USD, which might have been a bad idea, actually.
Oh, they're pretty well correlated most of the time.
They are. It's just
The pound
it had a
sometimes gives
easier
you,
shelf.
yeah.
So, and I don't. That's bad stop loss. I need that up there. That's just me placing it.
Be careful with the big lots with the stop loss.
Oh yeah. Well, I should have thought about that one a little bit better before I jumped in.
Anyway, is this the challenge account?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one might be a loss for me. I didn't think about that one before I
Well,
jumped
you've
in.
only got 2 trades so far. So
That's true.
that'll
So I
still
have 2
give
more.
you 2 more to go. So you can, how many positions can
4.
you do on here?
4.
2.
Yeah, 4 is
You
your
can do
max.
2 lots. Well, 2 lots total.
Oh, right. So I could
So
do 2 more
you could
half
go,
lots.
you know, if you're getting a very good trend and you got to pull back and a pivot, you could put a 2-lot trade on and just, you know, ride the roller coaster.
That's true. If I get a high probability
That puts
setup.
you in the yikes zone.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, you got to kind of like give it a try once in a while. If you're sure of your direction and it's definitely going there, and put on a couple other, you know, get your momentum indicators up there and make sure that they agree.
I'll be
If
more
you've got-
sure if we break below here. And that little 15 pipper, yeah, I might
Yeah,
could do that
if you
and then
put
just
2
call.
lots on for the 15 pips,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Because that would be above this candle, right? Like the 50% of this candle on
Yeah.
the fib of that. From there to there. And that seems like if it breaks this, it should drop.
It should.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Should. Yep.
And I'm not asking for it to drop all the way down here. Just right above the 50, this white line.
Yep.
So I've got a few plans. This is just my I'm
It's a
in. This is where I'm
reasonable
in.
expectation, but you know, all
And we'll
good
see.
plans. They're just that.
Plans until they come to fruition. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if y'all have any other thoughts about it.
Just it's a really good lesson for me this week psychologically, because I tend to be a little more conservative, and you know, you in order to be courageous, you kind of have to do it anyway, and then you kind of get used to it. So
Same here, Vicky. Like, I don't mind being in shorts here.
mhm.
Like on my other, I'm in shorts.
Yeah. Oh,
But
that's
if
probably
it
a good
pops
start.
up,
Yeah,
see
because
if
it's
it pops
come
up,
back
I
and
want to
it's tested and it's heading back down again. It looks like to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's the patience game I'm working on. Like
Yeah.
Rex is like this magical person that can survive this stuff for days.
Yeah.
I'm working on 24 hours right now.
Yeah.
But like normally, like here I would sell, and if it break back into this tiny little zone, I want to start repositioning. Well,
Mhm.
that's not how the larger ball game's done. So
No, you have to
Normally-
have enough wiggle room to let it breathe.
yeah, let it breathe on this higher time frame to come all the way back up here at least,
Without going past your 2% drawdown.
without me touching buttons.
Yes. Yes,
Normally,
that
I
too.
would worry about it reversing in the German or London market, but we have so little news tonight. I think it's going to run on through.
Yeah, see, that was the other thing. There's like no news. There's nothing going on this week. We have POW like Wednesday, but otherwise the week's kind of dead. So I was like, maybe that'll give power weight to this Tokyo drift tonight.
All right, let's see. This is Monday the 6th. 10:30 p.m. The Australian dollar says cash rate, which is a red folder, and the RBA rate statement is another red folder on Forex Fact.
Yeah, but that's Aussie.
Yeah.
There's nothing tomorrow, 9 a.m. We got Waller. He
Yeah,
ain't gonna
but
do nothing.
it's the Australian dollar, US dollar. So if the Australian dollar goes up, that'll push the US dollar down. So if the US dollar goes down, your pound trade will go up,
Go up.
because as the dollar weakens, the pound will
But if the d-
strengthen. So
Yeah.
let's-
Wait, if the
let's-
dollar weakens, yeah, this will go up. But if the dollar strengthens, this will continue to go down.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Now, if you check out the Australian dollar, US dollar pair and see if it has been moving in a
Well,
direction.
it's been moving south right along with GU and EU.
Okay. So if they priced, they tend to let things out early there or price it in before.
See,
the
it's
comes
overextended
up.
too.
Yeah, they let the news rip early.
So a play for it. I mean, if aside from the news, absolutely, it should retest 50% of this move. That's a 200 pip move. This is on the hour. It should retest this range.
Yep, should.
So everything, now I say everything kind of
Okay,
points to
so,
a
and the
retest
news
of the
is
half.
just a little over an hour away, so.
So would y'all normally wait for the news on that type of case?
Yeah. I mean, you're not trading the Aussie dollar pair, so it's not going to move as much, but it's like ripples in a pond. When
Yeah.
the dollar gets affected by another pair with, its pair with Australia, then the pound dollar will kind of move in
In sync
synchrony
a little
with it.
bit.
Yeah. But
But
Josh,
I don't think it's enough to break back into this zone. Well, that's what I'm hoping. Because this was a really strong zone to me.
the Aussies tend to leak the news early, so
I've noticed that.
you might want to wait until after the boom.
Well, I'm definitely saving my other 2 bullets then.
Okay. Karen says the NZD USD has a retrace of 50% of a large candle on, is that the 4-hour, with room for about 50 pips to the upside and a 34 pip stop loss.
I think,
4-hour, yep.
Karen, I stopped sharing, so you can, if you want to talk about yours.
I'm not doing the challenge. I was just looking for a trade setup and I kind of liked the way that one looked in between the levels. But it seems to have the right amount of pips that is needed for the challenge with a smaller stop loss relative to the target. Don't know if that makes any sense for anybody, but maybe Rex could put up the NZD, USD. I don't.
Sure. New Zealand, US. That the right one?
Yes, and I was looking at the 4-hour.
So we have
that.
we got a technical
yeah.
sell.
But I like the pullback of that big long candle. It's gone back about 50% of it. The candle to the left.
This one here.
Yeah, that one. And if it's going to continue higher, it could be from this area, and then you've got room to the top before it would even have to break out of the top to get about 50 pips. And a stop loss at that double top would be about 34, I think, something like that.
Yeah. So will you wait for a pivot to see if you get a pivot?
My chart looks a little different than that one.
Are you an
Yeah, I'm on LVO, and so it looks slightly different, but generally speaking, I was looking at the 50% retracement of the big bar
Uh-huh.
as a potential entry point for a buy. Yeah, somewhere in there like that.
Much as I can scribble and squint.
Is there any pivots further back? Can you-
I didn't look. Let me see. Yeah, there is.
So if we look at this
Okay.
level here,
Yeah, that's probably a better level.
So it could possibly, Karen, pull back to this area here.
Right.
And I'd
So-
wait for the 3-bar reversal
Right. Yeah.
because it's in a long-term downtrend, so it could just keep going.
Right. Since it's on the weekly, it's only at the moment crossing below. Like you say, it can be a pivot and a move back up.
Yeah, on the 4 hour, it's got higher highs and higher lows. So that's what I was looking at.
Right. So yeah, you're just looking to say, I don't know for sure where this is going to take place. But if I get a pivot wherever it is, then I can take the trade long.
Just to try to make some pips for that challenge.
Right.
thing.
Yeah. No. And it's once you get the pivot, then the risk is the pivot. So that really shaves down on the risk. And wherever you get into it, depending on your size, you're looking at about 40 to 50 pips.
Right.
Yep. Anybody else looking at anything? How many folks here, we don't even have to be doing the challenge, but the challenge is, can you make $200 this week in no more than 4 trades, regardless of challenge? Is that something that's doable unless you're in $1,000 account?
Yeah, the 10K account challenge that I'm doing for Lark. It's like, okay, a $200 trade would be good, and that would get me through to the next level. And
Right.
I ended up, do you want me to share? Let me see.
Let me stop mine.
Okay. So let's see, I was up here. I started layering here, here, and then here. And then it went south. So I got stopped out. I was counting on a bounce at this level right here to go up again. And it didn't do it. So I got stopped out. So I was like in yikes territory all day long, going, ah. It's like, is it gonna bounce here? And it's like, yeah, looks like it might. No. Is it gonna bounce here? No. So, and then, well, this was encouraging here. I did scalp a couple of trades there, but I still stopped out. So I've lost my 2% instead of gaining the 2%. So I'm going to be looking for a good, solid directional trade and then put a larger lot size on to start recouping. At least that's my plan. So your sell on the pound dollar seems to be going the wrong way, Josh. Although it's hitting.
Story of my life.
It's hitting resistance right there, support and resistance right here.
Yeah, and
So
this whole
gets a pause.
this whole Euro USD trade hinges on yesterday's daily candle being the apex.
yesterday's daily candle, let's see.
If that apex candle fails,
this one. I
Yeah.
see what you mean. Yes, definitely. Well, look at that on the pound. That's definitely a huge wick there.
yeah. And I thought,
So
well,
that-
if that's an apex for a retest before we decide to change directions, because if we change directions and go up, it's turning a really, really long downtrend into an uptrend after a small comparative or relative consolidation. So I thought, well, then the odds are probably going to be that it's going to at least retest 50% of that before making that decision. But who knows?
If you put a 12-hour candle on, it's actually pretty obvious.
12
It's
hour.
already
I
made a
don't
new
think I
low.
have the 12-hour. No, I just have the 4-hour and the daily,
Well,
the weekly.
can you just type in the number of minutes on the chart and it changes?
I don't know what you're talking about, like here on the 4 hour and just put in,
on any chart. Yeah, well, I have to use my calculator, but hang on.
what, 12 hours on the 4 would be 3 candles, right?
12 hours times 60 minutes is 720. Like on TVC, if you just type 720 on the chart, it gives you 12-hour candles.
No, you can't do that on this, I don't think. Time frames, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, weekly, monthly. That's all you get.
There's got to be a way. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, well, I'm not an expert on MT4. I'm functional on it. That's it. I don't know all the bells and whistles.
It's taken me
The
almost
next
to figure that
challenge
out.
I get, I'm gonna go for a different platform and maybe a different broker too. So we'll diversify a bit.
Is Lark only MT4?
No, they have
Nope.
MT4, MT5, and they are bringing in a new broker called Think Markets, which is supposedly half the commission and still has the raw spreads like this one does.
Yeah. Now,
And he wants to bring in C Trader. I don't know how that's going, but he said he's hired, he said unlike some other prop firms he's hired when he started the whole thing, he hired a professional computer development team. So evidently he's got some pretty good technical people behind the scenes. So he says. Have you been keeping up with their trading Olympics, Ed?
not exactly.
All right. I think Nigeria was one of the top countries to go forward. So I think the top 50 traders in Nigeria will be going forward in the.
I didn't notice any of the Western countries in the top.
No.
Some other prop firms that folks might want to look at that have been discussed recently. Aside from Darwin X and the fibers, is concept trading.
Concept.
Mr. Bondsworthy, another trader in another group, said that the 8-cap platform is slow compared to some of the other ones. And this I don't know, but
I haven't had any problems with slippage or closing trades, even closing trades on the app on my phone.
Yeah.
They've all gone through perfectly well.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
even though
should-
the app on the phone does tell you it will close at market price, which may vary considerably from what you see. So it was like, okay, I think I'll just monitor it on the phone and then go to my thing here and close it over there. So anyway, let's see. I think I'll wait till 10:30 before I put a trade on, because this looks like it's gonna come up a little ways before it goes south again. Anyway, anybody else want to share? Stop.
maybe Rex does.
I'm just looking at the New Zealand Swiss here. And my reason to be a little bit different. Let me find it in Alvio.
Are you looking at that for a short or a long?
So you don't provide that information. So then you listen to the crowd and then you speak to them as they let you know. So
You just say yes.
yes.
Looks like it's bouncing off a channel there on the weekly.
So I'm trying to
Almost.
see
There's-
if I'm part of a
Oh.
swing trade.
All right.
So I got a tweezer top on the daily.
Okay.
So I'm trading, I'm selling the tweezer top. And it also My target is above this reversal point here.
Okay, that's good.
And if I can break below what's down here in the 1 hour, I'm just teasing it. If I can break out of this consolidation here, but over here, then I'll feel a little bit better about the trade. I could always just stop it, end it quick.
Right.
But I put in a 0.6 for a 33 pip target, which will give me 220, 16, and 28 is my risk. I got to stay below the 1%. So that's 180, 680. So I'm just trying to see.
Okay.
Now, depending on what type of structure comes along, I can always just stop the trade.
Oh, the 12-hour has a 3-bar reversal in process to the south.
So ideally, the entry would have been up here, this odd looking smashed head and shoulders here.
Yeah.
But, not always anywhere near the
Of
computer.
course, that big bar right in the middle there, I think is maintenance time.
Maintenance, yeah, a couple of these do that with this.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. I don't know which one it is, but
Yeah. So I'm looking at
Yeah.
that. And I had 3 pairs that came up, but they were the Aussie, so I skipped over those. Pound CAD was one. I'm at the bottom of what was resistance, now support. So I am about 36 to 40 pips away from being, if I'm wrong. And then back up to there's 52. So this could be one I could pull off. Now I need to go to the pound CAD over here on the weekly. So we've been going nicely down to the daily. Let's see, pound CAD. Yeah, I have to look at everything. So come on. On the daily, it's been strong. It could be moving into a reversal. The neat thing is I will know right away if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to switch this one over. And if anybody wants to share your approach or your thoughts, please do it. All right, here I am down on the 1 hour. I take a buy right now. I'm risking 21 to 34. So I'm going to run this up to 34 here. 35. 29 and to 40. So I'm going to run my target up to 39. And so 0.6 only gives me 170. So I'd have to go higher, if I'm trying to, now I'm just trying to get 200, right? I'm not trying to.
And that way,
0.72. So I've got 0.6 in. So I'm risking 183. So it keeps me below the 2% hit. And then 204. So I'm going to buy.
and if you lose one, then that gives you 3 more one to make back what you lost and 2
Right.
more to get the $200.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can stop any one of these if you've made $50 or 75 and you want to, use that and look for better setup, you just pull it off. Now, certainly when you're starting with these larger position sizes, just start in the hole, but you've got to get used to that too. And it's just a drill, to where if if you can be right 50% of the time, 60% of the times, and then when you start actually looking for your favorite setups and you're right a lot more, you don't get as many trades, but you get the setups that you like. That's the whole reason behind the drill. I only look for setups. Ideally, my setup would have been the week after this candle here. Down here.
What candle? Oh, there.
Yeah, on the weekly,
Okay.
just wherever there's a major pivot.
Mhm.
Now, this is in between that move.
Yeah, I find it interesting that on the weekly, you've just got a tiny wick at the top there. And of course, on the 4 hour, it's actually pulled back and you've got like a tweezer bottom.
Right.
So yeah, it shows you the level of detail you get in the lower time frames. But it's basically still headed up on the weekly.
Right.
Buying is the better direction.
Yeah, with my small stop here, it either is going to work or it's not going to work really fast.
Right.
So the wheels will come off the wagon really quick.
Yeah.
So, but at least I got a apex candle to at least justify the fact that I clicked buy. It's not a confirmed one, but I went ahead and started because we're here.
Yep.
Now let's see, that is the pound CAD, New Zealand, Swiss. I don't want to do any more New Zealand's. Now I can go to, I know I got news, Euro Aussie, that's ugly.
What about the pound Swiss? It's pretty well the same as a pound CAD.
Is it? I'm looking for an Aussie pair that I know we got news coming up. Let's see, let's just go through them.
I put an Aussie trade on last night. It's not doing much. Aussie CAD.
Is it just, are you on a buy?
No, I sold it.
Okay.
I'm on a sell
On
too.
a 4 hour.
I'm just looking at it here on the 4 hour. Now we got news coming up. So let me go over to the weekly and bring it up.
I sold the New Zealand CAD and the New Zealand US last night too on the 4 hour.
That should be treating you pretty good.
Yeah, I'm up about those two. I'm up about 60 pips.
Yeah.
The Aussie CAD, I just kind of just hanging around zero.
It's at a good swing level.
Isn't Aussie CAD kind of sideways right now? It looks like it wants to go higher.
Yeah.
Let me
Probably
bring it
just
up
waiting
here.
for the news.
Yeah, it will now because I'm selling it.
I'm going over to my other account and going all in buying. So there's a great swing point there on the weekly
That looks like a buy.
here.
It looks
Oh,
like a buy
no,
on the
on the
4
lower.
hour, but a sell on the weekly.
Let's go down to the 15. Let me bring that up. So here on the daily, on the Aussie CAD, getting some sort of a rounding top there. Now we are waiting on news. Aussie CAD on the 4 hour, that's just part of it's creeping up there.
Kind of decreasing momentum there on the 4 hour. Is that what we call it?
Yeah. And, it's just waiting on news. So,
Yeah, so it could either go bounce all the way up to the top of that channel or break down.
yeah. So 89091. As I'm sitting here squinting, I'm thinking, Ed, how'd your surgery go?
You talking to me?
Yeah, did you have your cataracts done?
Oh yeah, a couple months ago.
So
Yeah, it's fine. I'm wearing my new eyes.
good deal.
Oh,
I
so have you
wasn't
taken all the
wearing bad-
100-watt bulbs out of your lamps and started wearing sunglasses?
I had to wear sunglasses for the first month.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what my mother's like. She had cataracts for so long that she needed really bright light to be able to see. And then she came home after getting her cataracts done. And she's like,
Yep.
oh my God, it's so bright. She replaced all of her 100-watt bulbs back down to a lower wattage. She's like,
No, I just went to
but I
Walmart.
told you it's bright. She didn't believe me.
I just went to Wally World and bought sunglasses right away.
Yeah,
But I don't need them anymore. It's just 2 months and I'm back to normal.
yeah, get used to it.
Good deal. So I guess my approach to the Aussie cat is it's definitely at a channel swing to the downside. News coming up. If it breaks above resistance here and goes higher, I would look for an exhaustion candle to see if that's the end of it. And then if it turns and goes back lower. Since, I'm not in it, Danny is. Danny's in it with a perfect area. Because if it does turn and swing back down, it's got 220 somewhere in there to the double bottom. So we got to wait for the CAD news. And as that's coming up in another hour or so, I can't remember.
That's an interesting pair because the CAD is affected by oil, but Australia is also like a mining country. I don't think they have a lot of oil, but they do
Yeah,
have
they're natural resources, both of them.
right.
The news will be at the bottom of the next hour, Rex.
Next hour, okay. So that'd be the one to keep an eye on. So now there's other folks here if you have anything that you're thinking. Now I'm just doing these. Can I hit it on one trade and be done? And that's, I got 2 trades going. I got 2 left. And you never have to put on a trade just because you started the challenge. You could say, my goal is to wait, be patient, look for the best setup. But if this is a way that you like to trade, you're looking for the outside edge and you're trying to say, hey, I'm willing to risk 2% or 1% in a trade and to get 2%, there's a lot of people that trade that way. They're just very patient and they look for their setups. Any other pairs that anybody seeing anything? I only had a couple of the Aussie pairs and then New Zealand pairs. I did have the pound CAD just because of the structure.
Yeah, that does look interesting.
They use having a 10, actually 12-pip pullback now, so I'm inclined to think the news is going to force itself.
So how do you do with the nails? Do with the news, Ed? I don't watch it too much, so you typically study it beforehand.
No, I just kind of get a general idea from losing over the last 5 years. I on the morning news, I have a really good idea what's going on because there's a lot of little indicators, like the DXY or the New York Open. What are the futures doing? Sometimes the FX orders, the New York cut. There's a lot of little indicators, plus the news, of course. So I can get a pretty good idea of which way it's going to go. In the last couple of months, there's been a change in the way the big boys are trading the news, in the fact that they're pushing it way out, and the pullback doesn't always come to 50% before it bounces back again, and then it keeps on running. And that's a change from what it used to do. We used to have bigger whipsaws. I tend now, if I don't have any clues, and a lot of the time I don't, I wait until I think it's finally run its 50 or 100 pips, whatever it's going to run. And then I trade the retracement back down to 50%. Sometimes I get lucky and it goes 100%, but that's not real often. But I really enjoy trading the notes because of the lickety split price action. It's better than a game. I mean, it's better than playing Star Wars.
Okay.
I don't know if that was very helpful, but
Yeah, no, Euro New Zealand here. I'm just looking too.
Euro GBP, I'm in one of those trades from last week. I haven't checked my LVO today, so.
There's another AP trader that has run a news study over the last several years, and he's really good at it. I forgot his name, but he's really good at telling you which way it's going to go and approximately how far it's going to go because he's tracked it over several years.
That one looks like it's gonna continue up to where it's going. So I'll leave that alone. But these are the, I'm not really counting the statistics of this one, the LARC funding thing, because there was so many trades that got stopped out at a maintenance time that, see, they're all minus 0.2, minus 0.5, plus 0.1. That was kind of weird. So gonna mess up the testing of it, but there are several that haven't hit, and one's the Aussie CAD, Aussie New Zealand, Aussie USD. Well, let's have a look at them because they're gonna have news. Maybe that'll push it into the trade. Aussie CAD. And this is just the setup that was on that video that you shared, Ed. So, well, unless it drops way down, I don't think it's gonna hit that one. Let's see. NZD and USD. This will have to drop quite a ways too. And that's pulled down some too. But it looks like it's hitting there. Now, would you draw the fib from here or from here? I think from here. And it hasn't even hit the 23 yet, so let's try. To there. And it has hit the 23 from that level. And if you want to put it even closer, here, 32. 30, 38.2. I think that's the better level there. Well, that one's probably not going to hit either. Okay, well, that was the LARC one. The only thing that's working right now is the Euro GBP. Four hour. One. Down. Bounced off the 50. And those moving average levels of support. Move it to there. Yeah, we broke the 61, so that would lend you to believe that it would go all the way down to 100%. But looks like it's going up to me, so we'll see what happens. Okay, anybody else?
Nobody else?
Nobody else? Oh, we got new messages. Let's see. NCDCHF. Oh, that was a while ago. I don't want to look at myself. So let's reshare Albia. Let's see. Zoom in on this one. That's a GBP. That's the 1 minute. And oh, how about the Euro JPY? What has the Bank of Japan been up to lately? I don't think they said much. Didn't they have news the other day? What?
I mean, Vicky, they released 14 trillion worth of bonds.
Yeah, nothing really happened. Although, was that over here?
Well, I guess, I don't know. It was just a day or so ago. I mean, $14 trillion. That's like, holy smokes.
Yeah, well, of course, they also have the biggest retirement fund in the world, and they allow unlimited investment in the US stock market.
Yep.
So basically, that's why they can continue this sort of strange money manipulations.
It makes the world go round.
And that's true. All right, let's try. I haven't looked at the GBP lately.
Now, Debbie, do you have a setup for the challenge that you've been doing?
Right now, I'm short the euro, not going in my direction. The problem that
Uh-oh, you
I'm
went
having
long.
with this challenge is that I had a trade on this morning that I was up. I left it to go to a meeting and it turned around. And once you lose a trade, you're kind of done. And that's the problem that I've got. So we'll see. I'm going to go for broke, but it seems like we're gambling. If you lose the first one, it seems like you got to gamble to make the whole thing. So this may be the first one I fail.
All right. This, I just put one on here because this support resistance level, along with the 50% fib and the moving averages, all converging in one spot, would probably be a good place for a buy if it pulls down that far. Anything else you wanted to look at? Well, let's try the GBP NZD. I haven't looked at that in a while either.
Rex, what's the schedule for the rest of the week?
Now, tomorrow, there's the challenge at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. I don't know if I'm doing the class or if it's Kevin or whoever, but if it's me, then I won't be doing this class. And so we'll have to meet in the challenge class. So if it's me, I'll send a link to the challenge through GroupMe. So that way everybody can get into it. And then let's see here, what was the other? And then Thursday morning at 9 after the trading room, where I'm a trader on the street. So I'm trying to do 7 to 8:30 Monday through Thursday in the evening is my standard. unless I'm doing the challenge. And then Monday and Thursday mornings after the guest trader in the trading room. That makes sense?
Yep. I think I finished the presentation you asked for. I was
Okay.
just trying to figure out when might be good.
So typically when we have the most people, so I know when Sean's doing his wobble, the viewership is less. So we want to try for Thursday evening. Can everybody make Thursday evening?
I can.
So it's 7 p.m. my time, Mountain Time.
Sure works for me.
Okay. Does that work for you, Debbie?
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that. That's one I'm not going to miss.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Debbie's topic is on using options, which is really, really neat to have somebody that trades them and knows them and can take us through it. And I'm going to go look for that trade that you're talking about, Karen.
Okay. Any other pairs anybody want to look at?
And I found it, Karen. Let's see here.
You want me to stop sharing here?
Yeah, I think I found the right one.
There we go.
So I'm over here in Logan's Grove. I stick these trades when I finish them. So this is the CAD Swiss. Again, I was trading off this rising trend line, kind of an inverted head and shoulders here. I wanted to be out for here. I lost quite a few pips here, but it was a nice little trade. It wasn't really wobbling. I was just putting on trades. I only had 12 trades. And it was 0.44, but that's more than I need for my goal of 0.25 a day. So that's the one I was talking about. And it just happened to get into over here on the 4 hour. It gave me the pivot. This pivot here is what exists over here. And that momentum candle was the one that I was trading. So I stick them over here inside of, if I can find how to get out of it, underneath trades. When I mentioned them, I put mine here, and then over here, I'm starting to get people's trades put in here.
Okay, I didn't even see that tab. I'm glad you showed me that.
Well, they're whenever you look, there's going to be something different.
Yep.
They're helping me with video clips now. So
good.
they've given me a spot to throw a video clip in there. Ed and folks were saying you need to maybe do some video clips on position sizing and different things. So,
Yeah.
yep. And then there's the broad markets there just to pay attention to a quick look without having to go too far.
And that's the live charts.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Those are live. So kind of fun. Anyway, that's where I'm parking them over here. And then as you send me trades, if they've got good documentation, I'm collecting them, and then I'm going to put them in here.
I'll work on adding text to my screenshots.
Yeah, mine are pretty simple with the lines. Because I chicken scratch everywhere. You can see here on this Aussie Swiss, I was just trading. Again, Karen, I was cheating. I had all these wicks down here. I knew what it was doing. And I just traded along with whoever's pushing the market. If it turned around on me, I was gone. And I wanted to be out before here or here and made my targets, and I just stopped. So I always tease and say I'm cheating, but if I get a pivot, then I'm going to be more aggressive. This is just me pretending I'm Ed. These are pending orders here on the sell side because of this double top here on the daily. And I was just trying to get some. So these triggered and fell down pretty well. Again,
you can trade for me any day.
And you know exactly what will happen the day I trade for you. So, but anyway, just some thoughts. You should be able to look at anything I do and go, I know what he's up to, and the way he trades. Here, I went the wrong direction. Here, I had a strong candle up. I did some trading in here just to get some things. And then the Fibonacci are just levels. I did pending buys, and I wanted to be out before it got into selling pressure. Just as simple as simple as what works for me. So if you want, you can pop into here and look at these different ones. And then again, as people are putting on their trades, Ed does a good job of describing everything he's doing. This is the one when we were talking, I think, one evening in a group, and you were upside down and you pulled this thing out really well, Ed. But that's what people can read and think and do, and that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, well, I get lucky once in a while.
Now, that was a crazy news candle. We were all sitting here and you started trading it. But looking at the way you structured it and laid it out, you showed some patience, and it turned out.
Thank you.
So anything you do, you send along. If I can read it, I will throw it in there.
I think patience is the key word here.
Patience is the key word, and you don't need a lot of money to make a lot of money. You don't need to be hitting them over the fence. You just find your setups. And it's the same thing. Anytime you see me down on a 1 minute chart, it's because of something I've seen on a daily or a 4-hour chart. And I've just got some time on my hands, and I'm going to sit there and play like a video game in the market and trade a little bit. But find your style and what works for you.
I like the Darwin X method. They don't want you to swing for the fence at all. They're happy if you only make 1 or 2% a month.
Oh.
And
who's Darwin?
They have a leaderboard where they post, their traders, which is very interesting. But at any rate, the guy who's been there quite a while now makes 0.25%, and he's happy with it. But he's their highest trader. He's up to like 25 million. That's a heap of money.
Darwin X.
It's just like Ed said and Deb was saying, it's just patience, finding your setup. And once you know the way you trade, you just don't change it. Or what you do is you start chasing what you think to be the market, and the market's just always doing what it's doing. So find where you fit. Darwin X, is that it?
Yeah.
Yep. DARWINX. I'll get a link for you.
I just found it if you want to see it.
Open wrong tab.
Thank you, Adam. Cool.
Yeah, good. euros right in front of me. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yep.
Okay.
Trading talent and connected with investors.
So anywhere that we can find a place for anybody to trade it with Sean or whatever, that's the goal.
Now it says EU and UK. Is that the only companies that, I mean, only, not companies.
Do
Countries.
they allow US clients?
I think
I'm
you're
pretty
thinking about
pretty
Darwin
I'm
X
pretty sure
Zero,
this
aren't
one has
you?
to-
Is this what you were talking about, Ed?
Darwin X, I just posted a link, yeah.
No, you're talking about Darwin X Zero, aren't you? Where you're the ticker?
Well, they have different programs. They have like 4 different programs.
Oh, okay.
You-
Because
you
I'm
can
doing
sign
the
up.
Darwin X Zero, and I'm
Uh-huh.
going through its. They've given me a ticker, and people can. And it's legal in the United States because they're registered with one of the FINRAs or SHINRAs or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you basically go through a 2-week process where they grade you, and then you have numbers, and people can copy trade your trades with certain ratios. Like they don't want to have your risk level or whatever, so they'll reduce whatever they take from you, but you have a certain percentage of profits and all that other kind of stuff, and they subscribe to your ticker and copy trade you. Yeah, Darwin X Zero, that's it.
Okay.
And they
Well, I
as
see.
you
So this is kind of
you-
like FX Blue too, right?
I don't know about that. It's a little bit like eToro, except
Right.
eToro only allows US to copy US. You can't copy anybody outside the US. But this one allows you to copy anybody. And they have a X amount of money in their entire pool, and they distribute it to whoever's more consistently profitable, like once a month or something. But if you lose money that month, they will take away some of the money you have access to.
Right. That makes sense.
They have a leaderboard that they go by to disperse. I guess they said, I think the last video, they were up to 130 million.
And do
Yeah, they
you
got
buy
money.
into that one, or is that a challenge?
You buy a monthly subscription, I believe. For
Well-
the first 2 weeks, they evaluate you and then publish your evaluation. And then I think you get a percentage. It's like you get a percentage of your profits, but also of the people that copy you, you get a percentage of.
38 euros a month.
So the
They're-
better
they're a
you
co-
are, the higher you up on the leaderboard, the more subscribers you have, the more money
Yeah.
you make, yada, yada, yada.
There are a couple different programs they have.
Yeah,
And
it's
are you
good.
copying somebody, or are you being copied?
You are being copied. You can copy somebody else, but I'm doing it where they give you a ticker and hopefully somebody copies me. But I'm just now in the evaluation stage. Like I started yesterday.
Send me your ticker, Josh. I'll copy you.
You're right. I don't think it's published yet because I haven't been graded. They may not even give me $1. They may just be like, you need to go back and reevaluate yourself.
They don't have, astronomical claims for we're going to pay you 80% or 70% and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
like you start out at 15%, which doesn't sound like much, but the progressions are very rapid. As long as you're making your 1 or 2% a month, they double your account repeatedly. I mean, there's no 3-month wait.
It's supposed to be a really good environment for traders learning themselves.
Yeah.
So those
Hey,
big number of
it-
people, I don't know about, but
I don't know, Josh, at 10 million at a 0.25 a day, I can live on that.
yeah, I'm living on much less than that.
You get 95 euros just for signing up, and then 38 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you start getting funded and all that stuff, you don't have to pay the 38, I don't think. I think it goes away.
Let me see if I have mine and I could show you my grade so far, I guess.
Yeah, show the
What it-
leaderboard.
What it looks like.
Let's get rid of that. Go ahead.
Share. Can y'all see it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you want to follow me, I'm like TVQQ, right? And here's my Whopper. But I risked 0.13 to make 0.24. So I'm doing it like the scalping style, but I'm still trying to keep 2-to-1 concept going.
Well, you can manage that with scalping. That's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work on with that. But this is what it kind of looks like when you sign up. I guess it shows there's my drawdown and there's my profits or whatever.
Josh, do you have access to the leaderboard?
I don't no, all I have is access to my stuff, right? My payments, my
And they don't do that
notifications.
until, I guess, until you get approved.
Yeah, I think I got to get approved. Right now I'm in evaluation stage of
Yeah.
like one day. I've traded one day.
And what platform do they use?
MT4 or MT5. And there's a web terminal, but I just I download their MT5 and
Okay,
just I do it at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, like my others, and I go for 0.25%, and then I close it down, and then I go to my Alveo, go for 0.25%, and I close it down, then I go to my copy traded accounts, and I'm doing that.
Now, where do you
Okay.
copy trade from?
My copy trade setup is that David thing. I'm using FTMO.
FTMO.
Yeah, what I did with that, and I talked to FTMO, is I bought a $10,000 account, and I told them never change this account ever.
Right.
Because I can't handle a drawdown on $100,000 account. I can't. It's more money than I live off of. But so I have the $10,000 that never changes, and then it copies into the $100,000 accounts,
So
and that's why I only
basically,
go for a
The
quarter. 'cause
copier multiplies your position by 10.
well, no, yeah, it does. So it's the same risk ratio, but I'm not going to put more than like this much at risk to make that. But on $100,000 or $400,000 accounts, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But all I'm looking at is a loss of what, $13 drawdown on a $10,000 account.
And
I-
mentally
my-
it works.
Yeah, my poverty-stricken mind can handle that.
You're so modest, Josh.
But well, if you've got a $1,300 drawdown, you're like, wait. That's rent, that's car, that's truck, that's food, that's phone. Wait a minute.
Good thing you live in Texas and it's so cheap.
Yeah. I wouldn't make it in New York. Like, you want how much for rent?
So FTMO has their own trade copier, or do you use FX Blue?
I use
FX
FX Blue
Blue.
because it's local. Yeah. I don't want to send it. There's socialtraders.com or something. I don't want to send it third party, because if they shut down or there's a delay in the internet, there's so many failure points to that could really screw up your
and some-
trades.
That's
And
what
some
I
of
was
the
wondering with
platforms have
trade
bo-
copiers, if there's a lag time.
Keep them. Well, there could be a million things. Their server could be down there, and so it copies to one but doesn't copy to another. There could be a whole bunch of bugs.
Right.
So I'm doing a local trade copier, which is FX Blue. So the only failure point is my computer crashing, in which case I'm out of the game anyway until I fix it.
Oh, so you download FX Blue onto your computer and it
Yes.
copies from
Yep.
your
And
computer to your computer.
Yes, and you put it on each instant of MT5 you have on your computer. So you have to load up all your MT5s.
Now, does it have to be on MT5? And can you mix MT4 and MT5?
No, they have an MT4 one. I don't know if you can mix them, but
I
they
don't
have an
think you
MT4
can
one.
mix them.
All right.
Okay.
There was one there, Josh, that could be downloaded to run both. I don't know
Yeah.
what the difference is.
Well, there's an MT4 one and an MT5 one. I'm
Yeah,
just
they
all my
have two
accounts are
separate
MT5.
ones. I don't think I don't think either one will do both.
Yeah, I figured that. Because they're slightly different languages.
Right. But it's very reliable.
Oh, good.
I have had no trouble with it whatsoever. One time, one of my FTMO MT5 crashed somehow. I have no idea. I had trouble with it for a while. So I rebuilt it, or excuse me, closed it down and loaded it back up. And for some reason, it didn't reconnect. So all of my copied accounts kept the losses that I had in the first trade and didn't get my recovery or profits that day. So everybody was down 0.03 or something. But that's the only problem I had. I didn't have nothing since.
All right. Next. Anybody else?
We got news up in a few minutes. Hang around.
Yes, we should pull up an Aussie pair.
I think we're all waiting on the news.
I am.
Okay. There's Alvia. What's the net New Zealand dollar?
There's been quite a bit of movement the last 10 minutes. I mean, compared to what it was all night.
Rex,
I've
how
gone.
many trades did you end up getting into?
Just the New Zealand Swiss and the pound CAD.
Just the two?
Yeah. And then I was going to wait, depending on what the news does, if it settles out or if it just becomes a doldrums, maybe an Aussie pair.
Then that'll be your 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
Everybody's just waiting. Everything's like the momentum's all down.
So they're supposed to lower the rate. Is that what they were saying? By a tiny bit?
That's interesting.
Can you trust a politician or a Fed Reserve person?
About as far as I can spit.
Yeah.
I'm
mean,
sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
Go back on mute.
Pardon me.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
Okie dokie.
I'm surprised they haven't let us slip already.
But we will either all be millionaires in 3.5 minutes or we will not.
Wishful thinking.
Actually, we won't because mine's on a demo.
Move that up. That's a better spot. So if it drops, we'll catch a trade. You need a countdown on the screen. I know. Let's move this out of the way. Oops, sorry about that. How do I move this?
Tick tock, tick tock.
There we go. There's our countdown. Oh, they don't give us seconds on here. All right, minutes works. Can you see the clock on Alvio?
Yeah.
I see the clock on FX Factory, 1:45 to go.
All right.
If you go to my FX book, they have a widget for your browser in Chrome that for every news, and you can say which ones. I have it on like red. It'll have a pop-up 5 minutes before and have a 5-minute countdown for that news event.
What's that website?
My FX book.
Oh, I'm familiar with. Okay, yeah.
Now they rate them a little differently. I mean, everybody has their own color coding system for the news for some reason, but it works as a generality to warn you got 5 minutes to news.
Well,
A little bit of interest happening there.
The spreads are jumping a little bit.
Yeah, look at that. I got the bid and the ask on there. Let's see it now.
Boom, there it goes.
Wow.
Spreads come down, so it's
I
controlled.
say Aussie news tends to behave better than most. It doesn't flip back and forth before it picks a direction. It just tends to go and then come right back. Look at that.
Yep. It made the euro jiggle a little bit.
So, did anybody see what the news was?
Still pending.
Cash rate's still pending, yeah.
Yeah, we have to wait a minute before we get it. You have to pay money to get the instant news.
Oh, do you? Well, this is kind of late.
Going down now. 27, 30 pips.
Oh, that's good. All mine closed.
Oh,
Yay,
look,
yay.
now it's going down. Wow.
Yep,
Oh, wow. Were anybody in the Aussie?
I am. And I traded south.
You make your millions?
Did you get
I
stopped out on that
made
top wick?
only 0.85.
All right.
That's nothing to shake a stick at. That's pretty
good.
good.
I'll wait for it to bounce back and I'll finish 1%.
$4.35 came in right what they expected.
Okay. So it wasn't a surprise.
Yeah, so it's a nothing burger on the euro.
Well, the DX moved up 1 basis point from 0.08 to 0.09.
Yeah, let's see if I found it.
I mean, I had several south trades on already, but I waited for it to top out and come back down, and I put more on. And I just closed a half a dozen longs on the.
You did the moron? You did
Pardon
the
me?
moron trade?
Yeah.
Where you put more on?
It's my personality.
I like that one. Yeah, only 6 pips on the pound.
No, looks like it's making the euro go up.
Euro's going up and the pound dollar is going down. Let's check out the euro GBP. Yeah, that's not doing much of anything. Might be a bit of a delay, but I did notice that when the euro is going up and the pound is going down, the euro GBP will make a nice move up. And vice
And the
versa.
DXY is fluctuating a basis point back and forth.
Yeah. All right. So are you trading back up again on the Aussie? Or are you just waiting for this pullback to go down further?
No, I already traded back up. Although I got a couple trades left. unfortunately. They're gonna take a while. I might just close them. Wait and see if a 5-minute bounces. Yeah, I got a wick on the 15 and the 5-minute, just a teeny little teeny blue starting. So it's gonna go back up a little bit. There we go.
I'll let you know if I'm doing the challenge tomorrow night or not. If I'm not, we'll be in this room. If I am, then I'll send the link out to the challenge.
Okay. The one on the Trader on the Street calendar.
Yes.
Thank you.
We pass it around, but it depends, on people's schedules and things. So.
And I'll bet if you're teaching, I'll bet we know what you're going to talk about.
Same old boring thing.
Sometimes boring is good.
It's just finding the setup and getting comfortable, doing that 2% a week off, only allowing yourself 4 trades. If you did that for 100 trades, you'd probably have a good idea on how you like to trade that.
You'd probably have a lot of time off.
Yep.
Yeah, it can help you break the habit of over trading.
Oh, I don't know if you can break that habit. That's like playing asteroids and pushing the trigger.
Yeah, well, not using the one-click trading and using the trading ticket has done it for me.
Ah, good for you.
On the MT4.
Good for you.
I do maximum of like 4 trades in layers, usually just 1 or 2.
All righty. What are we going to do? You're just going to head off and catch up tomorrow?
Sounds like a plan. Anybody
Sounds
else?
like a plan to me.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
I'm just watching.
Thanks.
All righty. I can leave this running. It's up to you guys, but I'm going to go do some other things. And
Just gonna grab those links that Ed put in the box because I couldn't see the chat while I was.
Thanks, Rex.
Thanks.
you're very
Thank y'all.
welcome. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Nice
Rex.
Have a nice dinner, Rex.
Thanks. You too, Ed. See you later anyway.
Good night.